Ankit Agarwal asks if, and this links back to the last tax question. If you've already got houses on personal, in other words, you've got buy-to-let properties that you bought in your personal name, is it beneficial to transfer them to a limited company? Now, that is 100% an accountant question. However, what I can say is a couple of points on this. If anyone's listening today and that owns property already in personal name, and in particular if you're high rate taxpayers, you know that you're getting absolutely hammered for tax. And if those properties were only in a limited company, you know that that would be more tax efficient. But how the hell do you get those properties from where you are now into your limited company? Don't I just transfer them? Well, no, what the law says is that actually you've got to sell them to your limited company. The limited company buys them. And of course, what does that come with? Loads and loads of transaction costs. So if you're going to sell, then you might have capital gains costs to pay. If your limited company is buying, they've got stamp duty to pay. And then you've got all the solicitor's costs in selling and buying. So usually it's quite prohibitive. But here's the second option. There is something called incorporation, which I think what Ankit is referring to. And it was tested out about 10 to 15 years ago by someone called Ramsay, Ramsay. So Ramsay were a husband and wife landlord that wanted to move their buy-to-let properties from their personal name into a limited company. And the HMRC says, you can't do that. You've got to sell it and they've got to buy it. And they said, no, we want to challenge that. We want to use something called incorporation, which has been a well-trodden path with other assets historically. And the Ramsays were saying, we want to do it with our buy-to-lets. So it went as a test case. So if you're interested in it, look up Ramsay case incorporation. I think if you Google that, you'll get enough detail. And what
Ramsey versus HMRC.
even
Literally.
and that will tell you some of the key tests that the Ramsays had to hoops to jump through. So that's the sort of hoops you'd need to jump through to be able to be eligible potentially to move it, and then you are transferring it. So you then sidestep all those transaction costs I've just said, and it goes into your limited company. It's now in a tax efficient wrapper, and away you go. So again, I ain't going any further than that because I'll get into trouble. But talk to your property tax accountant. If you don't have one, have a word, and we'll signpost you the right direction.